All right. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream. Finally, feels like it's been forever, but Sunday was just a few days ago. But we're almost through the work week. Hopefully, you guys have had a good week so far. If you're new to the channel and looking to join an awesome network of like-minded people that trade in the stock market, looking to make money in the stock market or on the internet in general, for that matter, by any means necessary, definitely legally, of course, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. It looks like we have over 575 of us here now, so that's awesome to see that number keep going up. We also have a totally free Discord group chat that's down in the description box. There's about 60 to 70 members in there as well. It's the easiest way to reach me if you have any questions or anything like that. There's a bunch of other people in there that can help you out if you're new to trading or new to just making money online in general. So definitely consider checking that out. But with that, we'll go ahead and just hop right into the video. Took a position on DGAZ today. Today's stream, we're going to be hitting quite a few different things, actually, because it's just been so long. I'm going to go over why, obviously, I'm going long on DGAZ overnight and probably over the next, at the minimum, couple days. Probably just depends how it moves overnight, of course. But I'm planning on this probably being roughly maybe a couple days to a week or so trade. It just depends how long it plays out and all that good stuff. But just to break it down really quickly, we can see how overall on the last 20 days, we had this good little pop over $95. We had some pretty strong resistance right around that $96 to $97 mark. Obviously, we were pretty overbought on our 20-day 1-hour chart, which is the chart that I tend to like to look at the most a lot of times whenever I'm considering taking a position. I don't really look at my SMA quite as much when it comes to this 10-day 1 hour or 20-day 1 hour, whichever one we're looking at right now, 20-day 1 hour. I just like to look overall at my indicators. I can see that overall our MACD was showing there's plenty of selling going on for like the last 2 or 3 days. So I was like, you know what, this thing's probably due for somewhat of a little bit of a bounce over the next couple of days. Another reason being, obviously, DGAZ and UGAZ follow what? /NG natural gas futures. You can see natural gas futures down right now, just starting the trading session, really a little over 1/4%. That 285 to 290 range has been a major resistance for natural gas overall. We might retest 285 overnight, wouldn't be surprised. Overall, though, I think it's probably going to continue to just roll over, and from there we might retest that 255, 254 ultimate support over the coming days, weeks. Again, I'm not too concerned about holding this position quote unquote too long, but my target sell would be when natural gas probably approaches somewhere around like 277, 279, somewhere in that range. That'd be a good little drop in natural gas, which would mean a pretty good push for DGAZ, of course, because DGAZ is gonna do the opposite of what this does. We're probably looking at that point roughly somewhere around a $95 price target sell. 95 to 100 is where I'm planning on selling this. My average buy cost, and by the way, I'm only holding a whopping 2 shares. I mean, I took a very small position because I really don't trade DGAZ, UGAZ all that often. Though I'm probably going to look at maybe trying to swing it overnight. That way I don't have to worry about using day trades, anything like that. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But you can definitely play these a little bit as like a quick overnight trade. As long as you like read your charts and all that good stuff, of course. But so we got in at an average buy price of 89.36. So if you took 89.36, say I sold at even 95, you're talking about a $5.63 return roughly, not paying any commissions, of course, because we're trading on Robinhood. So you divide that by your $89.36 investment, you're talking about roughly a little over a 6% return, and what could probably happen within a few days of trading. I'm not thinking that's necessarily going to happen overnight tonight into tomorrow. Could it? Sure, we see crazy swings with these ETNs, but I'm not thinking that's going to be necessarily a trade that I do just tomorrow. I mean, I'm predicting DGAZ will roughly be up somewhere around 2 to 4% tomorrow, but I don't think necessarily 6. However, if it does go up any more than 3 to 4%, I would definitely consider just selling that position and then maybe looking at a different entry point at some point as it continues to go up, because overall I do think DGAZ is going to continue up, especially once we get through March. I believe once we get through March, Natural gas is just going to continue to sell off for the most part. I'm not thinking it's going to like go under $2 or anything like that, nothing crazy, but I definitely think somewhere in the 230s to 250, between 230 and 250 is where we're going to look at for natural gas to drop, which would mean that you're probably talking somewhere definitely north of $100 to $110 on DGAZ at the minimum, maybe even upwards of 120 again. But point being, this is a short-term trade. I can always get in and out. But to go back to that calculation, say I did hold out till $100. Say I wanted to really swing trade this for however long it takes for it to reach $100. Again, I'm thinking that's probably going to be at the minimum, bare minimum, week, probably 2 weeks. But let's say I did hold that to $100. That'd be what? Roughly a $10.63, if I'm thinking right, because I got in, or 60, let's just say 63. Keep it simple since that's the first number. Divide that by our 89.36. I think it's actually a little bit more profit, but it doesn't matter. Almost 12%. So I mean, you're talking about almost doubling your return. But again, it's only on 2 shares, so I'm not like I'm not gonna hold out if I'm up, quote unquote, $10, $12 on that position on literally just 2 shares. Why would I risk it just to maybe get another $5 to $10 profit on the trade? Now, if you're trading with a much larger position, then you could obviously imply like other techniques where, say, you're holding 100 shares, for example. Still not a large position, but a pretty large position considering the capital requirement. So say you had 100 shares at this target, or not target, at this price. If it got up to 95, you might want to take half that position off, cover some of that profit. You think it's still going to run higher, and then keep half that position in, and then just kind of let it ride up, maybe even rebuy back in on the dips, whatever the case may be. But again, never be afraid to take that profit off the table. I cannot stress that enough. But yeah, overall, I think over the next 24 hours, we're probably going to see DGAZ bounce up over $90 for sure. It looks like right now it's hovering right around 89.60, probably because obviously we go over to natural gas. Natural gas is down roughly about 1/4%, now about 1/3%. Still very, very early, nothing really going on with that. We can just pull up my flex grid because you can see kind of everything I'm watching. I also took a position within Adobe. It looks like we're down just a little bit on that position right now. I only bought 2 shares. I bought it on the earnings, and I bought it right after the conference call got going, because overall, again, it looks just like CRM. Salesforce had good earnings, beat the earnings. Guidance sounds amazing. I wouldn't be surprised to see Adobe maybe get upgraded by a few people out there. I don't know if anyone's holding it at neutral right now, but I'm sure it'll get a few upgrades to a buy, because just everything sounds good with Adobe right now. Overall, I mean, the chart, in my opinion, isn't necessarily, when we pull out to 180 days, it's not the most attractive in my opinion. I mean, it does still have a little way to go before hitting a 180-day high, and if we go out even further, I mean, we're talking 1 year pretty much all-time highs. I mean, it's not super attractive from like do I want to hold this long term? If anything, I want to wait for this thing to eventually roll over with the entire market and maybe get it again somewhere around that 200 to 220 price point. But that's more of like long-term trading. This one, I'm probably considering holding for, again, maybe an overnight trade, or if I have to, like I did with Salesforce, hold it for a couple days, and I'm probably looking at roughly a $10 to $15 per share profit, which is roughly, if I remember right, by the calculation, like a $14 roughly a 4% return on the investment. I'm in at 262. What is my actual? Let me go in here to our Robinhood portfolio, so you can see we got 2 shares of Adobe. We got in at 262.66, so that's what it was, 262.66, and a $14 profit. My target sale is actually 275, so we're talking about roughly a 12 to 13, let's just say $12.50 profit to keep it simple, divided by the 262 point, what was it, 66? Yeah, 66. So again, you're talking about 4 to 5% roughly percent return, possibly within the next day. If not, I will definitely be willing to hold this over the weekend and lock in that profit within a couple of days of trading. So that'd be also, again, another quick roughly $20 to $30 profit on those 2 shares. So those are, and then of course I'm holding some UDAO, which we'll talk about a little bit here in a second. But again, with natural gas, since that's what most of this stream is going to be about, since that's what like the overall topic is, just like how I'm feeling on natural gas is obviously we're getting through the cold season, and that tends to be obviously what really is when you see your upward movement within natural gas. Is obviously you have the big cold that comes in, and then you have all the inventory stuff that happens along the way. I believe back in November we had what was it? Let's see. Maybe we don't. Let's go into DGAZ, because if I remember right, DGAZ actually showed it on the news. Natural gas prices rise, supply concerns. Again, so when you have supply concerns combined with super cold weather, this was back in November when we really started getting underway with cold weather. That is the perfect recipe for what? Higher natural gas prices. So let's go take a look at natural gas again. You can see when, right around that same time when that news article came out, we had this huge spike within natural gas, which what happened to UGAS at that point. We saw it reach amazing highs, like 260, 260 plus, and then what happened to DGAS? DGAS hit pretty much close to an all-time low, right around 46. Well, actually, if I remember right, DGAS had dropped all the way down to like under, if I remember right, somewhere around like $4, $8. I know for sure under $10. Then they had the split, of course, that happened with the ETN, like with the shares and everything. So that's obviously going to raise the stock price back up. This is why you're seeing DGAS 629. You're going to have decay. You're not going to see DGAS bounce up to $400 or $500. You're not going to see that happen. Though what I am predicting though is that we'll probably see DGAS overall definitely surpass $100 to $120 over the spring and summer. So I mean, even if you want to, if you can stomach the volatility with natural gas and everything every week, because you have the weekly reports, of course, as you do with oil, if you can stand the volatility, because this is a 3-time leverage essentially ETN, I mean, it's going to have a lot of movement. So if you can stomach the volatility, I do think overall DGAS will be a pretty decent long-term investment, quote-unquote long-term, as in more than a few weeks, in my opinion. Like anything over a few weeks holding is more of longer term anymore when it comes to trading, investing, etc. But I think right now it's a good opportunity for a day trade, swing trade, and a good opportunity for a longer term, few weeks, maybe even couple months of investment. I think right now the target sell, if you're depending on how long you're wanting to hold, target sell if you're wanting to hold for a few weeks to maybe a couple months would definitely be $120. If you buy it right about where it's at right now and you hold out till about 120, you're talking 30 to 35% return on your money. And if you're planning on day trading this or swing trading, whichever, you're still talking roughly 3 to 6%. We see these moves on like a daily basis. I mean, even today, for example, it was down about 2% when you combined how much it went down in the after hours as well. So yeah, I mean, I love that natural gas. I love trading oil, don't get me wrong, but natural gas definitely tends to have a lot bigger moves. Oil, we do have massive moves to the up and down side, but it's very it's super predictable for one, but for two, it can be very far in between whenever you have this volatility. I do like oil still overall, though. It's very attractive. I like that we finally got above the $58 price range. I do think overall the reason why a lot of people are probably thinking, well, how come you're not getting into like UWT or something right now? Honestly, now I'm starting to feel oil's due for a slight pullback. I want to see oil pull back to around that $58 price range, somewhere right around this 58, maybe even around that 57.80 resistance that we had for so long. I want to see it pull somewhere around there and hold it as a support. Don't go below it, but hold it as a support. And then at that point, I would consider buying back into oil. But for now, natural gas, how's it going there, Josh? For now, though, natural gas looking like it's getting ready to potentially roll over. I think it's a good time to at least look at DGAZ if you're not already into it. Like I said, I'm only in with 2 shares. I mean, I'm not like so confident or anything that I think it's just a knockout home run type of a trade or anything, but I definitely think it's going to be a profitable trade to say the least. Like I said, target sell is around $95 to $100, but if it looks like right around 95, which it might, if it looks like around $94, $95, there's some resistance, I'll definitely just take my profit and run, because that's still going to be about a, what do we say, about a 6% or more return. So I won't hesitate at all to take that profit off the table. And you guys are probably wondering, you probably saw what I'm holding down there, UDOW. You're probably wondering, what is UDOW? Like, what is it? Why am I holding it right now? So this pretty much moves along with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's either a 2, I don't remember if it's 2 or 3 times. I think it might be 3 times leverage. So meaning whatever the Dow Jones moves from a percentage standpoint, you're generally going to see this move 2 to 3 times from a percentage standpoint, however much the Dow Jones moves. This is kind of just my safety net, and why I'm moving more towards this style of quote-unquote trading. Like, I'm doing like a more of a longer term swing trade with UDOW and SDOW whenever I feel like the market's about to like roll over or something. While I'm trading these, and I will also maybe SPY, or I think there's SPXU, maybe something like that. There's a whole bunch of different ones. You can just look up leveraged ETFs or leveraged ETNs of S&P 500, of the Dow 30, of the NASDAQ, anything really. There's essentially leveraged everything, meaning whatever it goes up, it's going to move up 3 times or 2 times. There's I believe 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. It just depends how much volatility you want at the end of the day, how much leverage you want, pretty much how much can you stomach at the end of the day. But this, why I'm holding this, is because, again, it's more safety. It's more of a safety net. I'm planning on going into futures here within the next few months. I've been paper trading it a lot, and I'll have more videos coming out in regards to trading futures, why I think trading futures is by far the best way of trading. Just to put in perspective, I've been trading kind of like how I will whenever I'll first start trading futures here in the next few months, like with the smaller account, only trading like 1 contract at a time. The largest contract size I've traded was 3 at a time, which essentially is like trading with around $18,000 to $20,000. So I mean, not a huge account whatsoever. Doing it kind of realistic, like how I'm planning on doing it, and just trading /ES over the last, I think I've been doing it about 2 weeks now, roughly, and in 2 weeks I've done $6,000 in profit. Of course, it's paper trading. I know you have a little bit less feeling attachment like involved whenever you're trading, which I need to go into that paper trading account and lock my profit right now, actually, because I bought right before the close. Let's go look at the 1 day, 1 minute. So I bought right down here on the dip, or no, where was it at? Was it down here? Yeah, it was like right before the close, and it looks like right now it's up quite a bit. So yeah, I'll have to go in there after the stream and lock that profit. So like that right there, that's going to be roughly, let's just look it up real quick instead of me guessing. So, and like I said, I'm going to have more videos coming out about this in the future, because I think you guys that aren't trading futures right now are going to be really, like, I'm not going to try to sell anyone on trading futures, but like right now that trade is up $312.50. Very small move. Again, I bought it literally right around the low. Right around, I think it was 28.1150 to be exact, is where I got in. It's only up to 28.15. So I mean, it had about a $3 3-point move to the upside, and we're up 300. Well, now it's back down to 282. I mean, it is volatile. This is one that I actually do have 3 contracts on, so it's going to move a lot more from the profit loss standpoint. But like I said, more to come on that. But so now my profit loss overall is at $6,300 profit in the last 2 weeks trading just /ES. So I mean, I definitely think trading futures is the best way. There's no PDT. You can literally trade just about 24/7. The only day the market is actually closed for a whole day is Saturday. And then Sunday you open back up at 5 p.m. I just think overall, and then the tax advantage, there's so many advantages to trading futures. So like I said, more to come on that, but for now, I'm holding mostly UDOW because overall, I'm bullish on the market still. no matter how much it goes up or goes down, I'll just put some in. Like I didn't take a huge position within it right now because I do believe overall the market's probably going to pull back slightly at some point within the next 2 weeks. Obviously, we had this pretty good pullback here overall, which was very healthy for the market. I do think overall UDAO is probably going to push up to about 98 overall. I think that's where we're going to hit our next little level of resistance, which I believe, if I remember right, yeah, we'll be again approaching right where it started to kind of roll over. So I think we're going to hit that, and then we'll probably see somewhat of a little pullback before it essentially moves higher. I'm not saying we're going to pull back to like we did when this thing came down to about 88, but pretty much any pullback, I'll essentially just put a little bit of money into that, and then whatever other money I have within my trading account, I'll invest into good companies such as Adobe, like I did, and then maybe swing trade, day trade, something like a DGAZ, a UGAZ, a Gush, a UWT, something like that. How's it going? How's it going? Plan to use the 3X Dow, S&P. Yeah, those big, yeah. Well, the 5-day hits, those aren't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily, I'm not telling you like to not wait on them, but to me, if you see the market's down like 3 days or more, I always think it's a good time to get in. Now, could you always catch a falling knife and we continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like we have a week or two in a row? Yeah, but then, and what I'll do is I'll just keep buying, just buy a little bit every single day all the way down. So then my average buy price continues to go down, and then when it goes back up, I'll make that much more money. But I get what you're saying about wait for a couple day slide for sure. Overall, this will be what, the second day in a row that's been up. It was down slightly a few days ago. I do think overall, like I said, I look for this thing to probably push up towards 96 to 98, maybe even close to 100 before it pulls back again. I predict overall green day for the market tomorrow personally. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. And we can see on our MACD, it looks like we should be getting ready to turn up for a little bit. So, and by all means, I'm not just gonna, like the positions I have right now in UDAO, like I'm not just gonna do the whole buy and then just keep adding. Like if say this goes up over the next couple days to 100, then I'll probably go ahead and sell because I'll be up like 5-6% somewhere around there on that position. Why would I not just take that profit off the table, wait like you're saying right here, which is wait for a little bit of a pullback, that 2 to 5 day pullback we always get at some point over a few week span, and then just play the market like that. And then from time to time playing like the UGAZ, the DGAZ, the UWT, the DWT, the Gush, the Drip, etc. But yeah, I wish I would have done this sooner, like when we had this amazing pullback back in December going into January, because if you would have got in right around $58 to $60, I mean, you're talking pretty killer returns over a period of just a couple months. But yeah, I love trading these, and I mean, it's just a little bit more safe. Like I said, I'm just looking to, because I was just going to literally stash my money into my savings account until I had enough money to start trading futures with actual money instead of just paper money. But then I was like, no, there's just something about sitting my money in a savings account that I just despise doing. I do have an emergency account that's literally just for like the worst of worst situations, which I believe everyone should have at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in some sort of savings account. But there's just something about my actual money that I know I'm going to be investing with just sitting in a savings account that just, I was like, it's not going to happen. So I figured something like a UDAO, a SPY, there's so many other ones out there. Like I said, look them up. I'll try to remember after I post this video to maybe put a link of a whole bunch of different kind if I find one. But yeah, overall, pretty safe investment, and you're getting a lot more leverage, which means a lot more profit at the end of the day. You're still not going to see huge major returns like today, up less than 1/10%. But again, you're taking out a lot of the risk, so to speak. Gush, how's it going there? Elmore Reese. Gush, I'm not really looking at right now. I had sold it. I bought it when? Like last Friday, I believe. Or no, not last Friday. I bought it Monday Everyone in Discord knows when I bought it, but I bought it sometime in the last couple days. I believe it was somewhere around here. It was in like the $9 price range. And I don't remember exactly when I bought or sold it, but I know I made about a $30 profit off of Gush. Anytime for the time being, like, look at it. You can see we were shooting up. Now it looks like we're starting to kind of get ready to roll over and pull back. If this thing pulls back to around $10, I might consider taking a position on it. But between 10.50 and 11, it's just not attractive right now. It's had a hell of a rebound over the last couple days, the last trading week essentially. But it's just one of those that's kind of been range bound lately. If we look at it overall on the 20-day chart, you can see we've been kind of range bound. Our range at first was in between like 10 to 12, and now we've had this pullback to around $8 again. I think we're going to kind of set up a new range. I don't know. I almost feel like Gush is kind of just going to continue descending. I don't like to say that. Overall, if you're looking at actually getting into something like an oil, I would actually go over to UWT instead of Gush. But I do think overall, like I said, I think oil in general, looking at UWT and /CL, I think we're kind of hitting a little bit of a resistance now, right around 59. I look for us to pull back somewhere around 57.80, 58, 57.80. It'd be about what about a 0.5% to 1% pullback. Healthy little pullback, and then we'll just continue higher. Oil right now, not a buy for me. I would sell, but I mean, long term, yeah, it's still a good trade. I think overall oil is going to go to 60 plus still. I mean, we're not too far from it as it is. All it would take was one of them big up days and we'd be over 60. I just think it's going to take a little while to get over that. But once we get to 60, it's pretty much going on up to 65 from there. So you're talking very good potential returns still on UWT. I didn't mean to put the / on UWT. You're talking minimum of $18 to $20. I just want to see it pull back a little. I think you can get this thing for around $16 again. If this thing comes down to 16, I'm a buyer, and then I would probably consider selling somewhere around $17.50 for maybe even a little less, probably about $17.25. That's a quick little 70% return possible. But if you're right now, in my opinion, Gush is more of the let it have its complete flush before you get in. Because, I mean, Gush, hold back up. You can see it'll have a hell of a rally, but then it kind of just does this little range bound back and forth by about 2 to 5% every day, essentially, which I don't really like. Just let it have its flush. Continue to have right now it's been on a tear days like we were talking about. I look forward to now kind of be range bound in between $10 and $11, and then it'll probably either one somewhere to around $8, which then I'd be a buyer again, or we're gonna see it go on a tear and go north of $12. So it just depends on kind of how you feel about Gush overall. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck right now in how I feel about Gush, because it is just descending overall over the last few weeks. We go to our 180-day chart. I mean, you can see it's still, I mean, we only got to look there. Let's just look recently. You can see, I mean, again, just still kind of range bound, $12 to $8. I mean, it might have a little bit more range to the upside than I'm giving it credit for. We might see it again go over $11 to $12, just kind of stay range bound. But right now, it's just in a, oh, the sound's messed up. Hopefully it's not. Is it sounding staticky right now? Yeah, it looks like it's getting some feedback. Well, I'll go ahead and just wrap it up. And if it gets better, let me know and we can keep going. But pretty much, I think we're a little bit, yeah, so I'll have to mess with that after this. Pretty much, I do think we're range bound on Gush, but to me, it's just in a tough position right now to want to invest in it after the rip it's been on. And again, we're going to start approaching some resistance very soon. But you might get a good day trade out of it. Who knows? But like I said, overall, natural gas, I look for it to keep pulling back, which means DGAZ is probably going to continue on up. But we'll see what happens there. Like I said, target sell for that is right around $95. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. Sorry about the mic difficulties apparently we started having here the last minute or so. I'll try to get that fixed before the next stream. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys possibly tomorrow, if not for sure Sunday, for another Sunday stock watch. But until then, take it easy, guys.